Ether's skyrocketing surge is being fueled by its use in decentralized finance, non-fungible token marketplaces, and more. It's catching the attention of investors. ETH accounts for about 15% of the total crypto market, with a market cap of over $400 billion. Joining us now to discuss is one of the co-founders of Ethereum, Anthony Di Iorio in Toronto. Welcome, Anthony.
Hey guys, good to be on.
Good to have you. All right, so a lot of people are asking about the price of Ether, how far it can go. Is it overvalued, undervalued? What are your thoughts?
I think, it's
nobody likes that question.
That's the way I always like to say. I don't like to do predictions of where it's going to be. I just think it's very strong right now, and we're seeing a lot of activity with Ether. We're seeing a lot of people understanding that it is maturing. It still has some issues, but it's Things are on a good stage. We've got ETFs that have opened up, which are making it easier for retail buyers, at least in Canada. There's a few that have opened up. And I just think with the NFT market, with the DeFi market, I just don't see things really stopping for Ether. And I think that the issues that it does have with high gas prices are going to eventually be worked out. And it's what's still being used right now. And you have other platforms that are taking a little bit of share away from it, and that'll always be challenging it, which is a good thing. And the best ones are going to win out. So I'm definitely happy with where it is, but I'm also in no means a maximalist in anything to do with Ethereum or with Bitcoin. I think there's a massive ecosystem that really excites me as a whole. And it's great to see and been part of what Ethereum has done and leading up to where it is right now. But there's just a lot of excitement as a whole in the ecosystem. And that's what really is something that I like.
Anthony, ETH is eroding Bitcoin's dominance over the crypto market, and it's triggering whispers of a flippening that is a possible event in the future when Ether could surpass the value of Bitcoin. What are the chances that could happen?
I mean, what are the chances that Doge could get up to where it is right now and flipping a whole bunch of other ones? So I think anything's possible. I think there is a lot more use case for Ethereum than there is with Bitcoin. They're completely different animals. There's a lot more functionality and a lot more different sectors that Ethereum is touching than Bitcoin can. Bitcoin definitely first mover, Ethereum first mover for other platforms similar to it. So I think it possibly could happen, and I wouldn't be surprised. But who knows? We'll just have to wait and see.
Anthony, I don't want to harp too much on Ethereum anymore, because I know you're not heavily involved so much as you used to be, obviously. But can you explain for the folks at home EIP 1559? What will that mean for the Ethereum network? Why are people so excited and talking about it now?
Yeah, you know what? I don't even know what that is. It's not something that I really follow on the Ethereum side of things. There's so much going on right now. And there's how many EIPs are there and Ethereum improvement protocols that are out there? I build wallets for a number of different cryptocurrencies, and I've kind of purposefully do not stay too much up to speed on what's happening in the different particular ones. And even with Ethereum, it's just Ethereum is not actually the one that I hold the most of. There's other projects that I'm following more closely than I do with Ethereum. So I'm not the expert of what's actually happening in the different protocols and the different improvement protocols that are happening.
Which projects are you most excited about? If since you're saying that.
So I have a lot of faith and confidence in some of my other co-founders of Ethereum. You've got Gavin Wood, you've got Charles Hoskinson, so you got Cardano, you got Polkdadot. Those are two that I'm very interested to see where they're going to take things. Luna is one that I've gotten into recently as well, but I'm in a number of other ones as well. So it's I hold Ethereum. It's probably my number 4 or 5 right now in what I do, but there's just a number of the others that are out there that I am backing because of the people involved in it, because I know how driven they are. Things like Cardano and Polkadot. You've got Gavin Wood, who was the CTO of Ethereum and just super intelligent person and really driven and very good. And his goal to not just get closer to Ethereum, but also help the entire ecosystem. Cardano, similar type of thing. Charles was the CEO of Ethereum back in the day, and again, super intelligent. He's been working more on the academic side of things and trying to bring some different things to light here, and both of them have been able to take their projects high up into the rankings. So those are two that I've been following pretty closely, but really my attention goes into building the wallets and interfaces that all of these different technologies are using, and that's what we do with Jaxx Liberty, and building the infrastructure that's going to support thousands of different projects out there. So it is very challenging for me to keep up to date on individual specific ones just because of my focus.
I know you just said that, of course, but you are pretty invested in Cardano, and so I wanted to ask you if you followed at all their situation with the Ethiopian Education Ministry, what they're doing, and how that fits into the overall project of Cardano and what it means for its future.
It's a press announcement to me. It's been years and years. I've been in the space. It's been almost 10 years. There's been a lot of press announcements over the past with things like Honduras instituting ways to do land registries, and I'm a little more cautious of will it actually happen and how does it get executed. And there's a lot of little variables involved, especially when you're dealing with governments and you're trying to change a system in an area that is as underdeveloped as it is in Ethiopia. So I'm, hopeful maybe that they're able to do something down the road, but I'd like to see that actually come up and actually materialize. And for me right now, it's just a press release. And I'd like to see it being executed, because many times in the past, I've seen projects like this that a few years later, they don't get off the ground, or there's other variables that weren't thought about that don't make it happen. So for me, it's just a press release right now. And I'm hoping there is some value out of it down the road, but it's just not something that I'm giving too much credence to at this time.
Do you think Charles can execute?
Yeah, I think he's doing some things with his project that are different. He's working in languages that aren't necessarily developers are focusing on. A lot of academic is there, and you get people that might be saying the development side is what needs to be focused on. Academia doesn't really develop things. So he's got a different approach. We'll see how it comes out. You get some people that are saying that it hasn't proven anything yet, but it is a long-term game, and I think that's the plan that Charles has with things. And just to see over time if he's going to be able to take this to fruition, to really create value with what it is he's bringing forward. And I think that still has to be proven.
So you mentioned the word maximalist earlier, and in theory, all the success of Ethereum and the success of all these different cryptocurrencies, it should be a rising tide lifts all boats. But in the past, that hasn't necessarily been the case, right? There's been a lot of infighting in the crypto world between the Bitcoin camp and the Ethereum camp. And what do you think is the status of that now? Are you still seeing a lot of that happening, kind of resentment from the Bitcoin maximalists of Ethereum's success, or do you think that some of these tensions have gotten smoothed over? Where do you see the current situation?
There's a wide range of people that are going to fit somewhere in between there and be on extreme sides. I think that when you have money involved and you have people believing in one thing and they're trying to push their particular tribe and their particular project, you're always going to get those people that are shilling or people that are trolling other things. But I try not to pay too much attention to that. I'm very much a middle ground person and what's actually creating value. So I think it will always exist. I don't know if it's changed any for the better. I just think you'll always get that tribe mentality, which is kind of unfortunate. But when you are dealing with money, that's what's going to be happening, and people are going to be trying to push their tribe and their projects forward. It is nice to work together, I think, and bring people together, and that's kind of where my focus has been. There is many good projects out there that are going to create a lot of value, and then there's a lot of other ones that don't seem to be doing too much that are also maybe rising in price, but those are the ones to be maybe cautious with. So I don't know if it's changed. I don't go much into forums or social media to really see what's happening between maximalists or people that are in one project or the other. So I hope it's getting better. I don't know if it is, but I tend not to focus on what's happening between different projects in terms of what tribes are saying about other ones.
Anthony, I wonder if you could comment on the whole decentralized finance ecosystem and the non-fungible token marketplaces that are popping up. What are your thoughts on how these are evolving and how they are shaping the crypto market space?
Yeah, it's been a while coming. These are things that we saw years and years ago were going to develop, and really Ethereum, I think, was the creation of DeFi and also the creation of NFTs. And it's not interesting too much to me. The entire space to me is I don't know, it's become very saturated, and there's a lot of people working on these things. And over time, when you've been on something for 10 years and you were doing it for years before it actually became, very mainstream or became at all mainstream, it's good to see where they are right now. The NFT market, I think, it's figuring itself out right now. I don't know if the value of it is really showing through yet. And you get a lot of projects that are coming out that I don't find very sexy at all. If someone makes an announcement about an NFT project, it's like, okay, that's fine. But I think over the next few years, we'll really see how it does provide value and it starts to really take shape. The DeFi space, exactly the same thing. There's a lot of good value in it. There's a lot of things that you got to be watch out for, and that's like it is with anything. I think they're going to mature over the years, and we're just getting started with probably both of those right now.
Too many suits in the business?
No, I'm not gonna say that. There's different people that are going to bring there's different value, whether they're wearing suits or not wearing suits. It's everybody kind of coming together in these really exciting technologies, and there's a lot of innovation happening and a lot of cool breakthroughs and problems being solved. And it's really exciting to see these technologies and where they're going to go in the future and how they're going to improve people's lives, how they're going to create real value, how they're going to change the way things have worked in many different sectors. And the people that are going to adapt and get in there early on and figure out how they're still going to fit, I think will be the ones that are going to be able to utilize it in the future and capitalize on it.
You know, some people are saying, Anthony, that ETH can become a victim of its own success because of its surging price and high gas fees. It's making it untenable for some developers to build on Ethereum and to transact on Ethereum because the fees are so high. Do you think that their upcoming upgrades will help in making it more scalable, more economical in that sense? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think when you have challenges like Ethereum has had, and it comes about because it is being utilized and the decentralized nature of transactions like this, you have limited space. So it is a challenge, and it's been something that's been on the radar for a number of years. But I do have confidence that they're going to be able to get it sorted out and make it so that there is more transactions per second and more real use cases, because a lot of it is just kind of still play right now until these things can get sorted out. I think they'll get it figured out, and along the way, they're going to be challenged by other projects that maybe have better, have some better technology that's advanced over the years. Because the older you are, the more difficult it is for you to be advancing with new technologies and bring it in, and that's the problem that Bitcoin had. The reason Ethereum is its own system is because you couldn't do what we wanted to do with Ethereum on Bitcoin. So new technology had to be created. But then again, since when Ethereum's come out back in 2015, there's 6 years of difference there. So it's harder to put in new technologies in older systems, and that's kind of the issues that Ethereum has had, and others will have that are older. So as newer ones come out, they're not going to have the mind share, and they're not going to have the first mover advantage, but they're going to be able to put in new technologies and make it easier there. So it's always a kind of a double-sided sword there. And Ethereum, I think, is up for the challenge. I think that they are moving things forward, and it has been slower than other people want. The gas fees are extremely high. I just don't know if that seems to be slowing anything down, though, really. And I think with the prices and where things have been the last few days, it doesn't seem to be stopping, and it doesn't seem to be impacting it too much.